Hey guys, Starr here, and I'm out on a hike. It's a gorgeous day here in Boulder, Colorado, and I'm actually surrounded by crickets. So you might hear them in this video. They're pretty loud. But I wanted to shoot a video today about being extraordinary because, I've been doing a lot of thinking in the last couple of weeks, and in the beginning of the year, I actually made a promise to myself to trust my intuition, like to fully trust my intuition. I'm a pretty intuitive person, and I get strong signs about stuff. And the last year leading up to 2015 was a pretty painful year in a lot of ways, based on a few times when, even though I had a strong intuition about something, I didn't listen to it. And I'm not going to go into a lot of details in this video. I'll tell my whole story about it in another video, but when I entered into the new year, I decided it was time to fully trust and to just go with my inner guidance, even if it seemed really uncomfortable sometimes. And I know from experience that in the past when I've done this, that this is when the biggest miracles in my life had happened. I'll give you an example. So many years ago, I went to New Zealand. I had this calling. I just kept having a recurring dream that I needed to go to New Zealand, and it was a really strong calling. And so I basically sold everything I owned and got on a plane with, I was planning on going for 6 months, but not 100% sure that I was going to return at all. So I just sold everything I owned, and I decided to head to New Zealand based on this calling. And everybody thought I was insane because they're like, what are you doing? How can you do that? And I had a really good thing going at the time. I was a realtor, I was making good money, I had a nice house, I had a nice car, I got rid of all of it and got on this plane. And all these obstacles presented themselves that I think probably would have stopped a lot of people. And some people might have looked at the obstacles as a sign that they weren't supposed to make the trip, but I looked at the obstacles as just stuff that I needed to overcome because I had to see what this calling was all about. And some of these obstacles were pretty big, including 9/11. Like the day after I booked my plane ticket, 9/11 happened, and people weren't recommending that anybody get on an airplane or anything, and I was adamant about it. Like, I have to go. And one obstacle after another came up, even up until I was at the airport, and they told me that I didn't have the right visa to go for as long as I was going for. And they told me that I was going to have to wait another week to get that sorted out. And I said, no, I'm not going to wait another week. I've already packed my backpack. I've already said all my goodbyes, which wasn't easy because I was leaving for an indefinite period of time. And so to go to the other side of the world. So saying goodbye to my friends and family was not easy for me. And I had my dad with me at the airport, but I had already said goodbye to everybody else. And so they said, well, you're going to have to stop in LA and get this sorted out with your visa. And I said, fine, I'll do that. So I stopped in LA, and it took me a few hours of sorting through whatever I had to sort through to get on that plane to New Zealand. And I remember when I said goodbye to my dad that day, and he hugged me and he said, you're in God's hands now. And that stayed with me on my whole trip. And it was so true, because when I was getting on that plane, I didn't know anybody in New Zealand. I didn't have a plan for what I was going to do when I got off the plane. I didn't have an agenda. All I knew was I had to go there, and I was just going to see what happened when I got there. And so he said, you're in God's hands now. And the whole time I was there, what I experienced was that by letting go and just trusting, that everything was handled. And I was pointed in the right direction for the entire 6 months that I was there. I really never even really had to think about much, because I just kept meeting the right people who would steer me in a certain direction, and then from there I would meet somebody else, and I just trusted, and I was guided. I was like divinely guided in a way that I had a really, really miraculous 6 months. That whole 6 months was unbelievable, and it was life-changing in so many ways. And one of the ways was that it really helped me to understand what's possible when we give up needing to always think that we're in control, and to just trust what's there for us. And what I know to be true is that what God, the universe, your higher self, whatever you want to call it, wants for you, and what your passion or your purpose is one and the same. So when we don't listen to those callings, we suffer. time. And and it's amazing what happens when we do trust and when we do follow. And a lot of times things unfold in a way that's different than what we expect. That's part of it. We can't be attached to having an idea about the way it's supposed to look, because typically that's not the way that it looks. And so, this is what's been coming up for me, is really realizing that, it's time to just completely trust again. And what's happening is this path has been unfolding before me that's different than the way I thought it was supposed to look. But what I'm finding is that what my path is right now, what my purpose is, my mission right now, is to get this message out on a really, really large level. And that's what I'm up to. I'm in an industry that I love, the internet marketing industry, and it's been nothing, short of amazing for me that as a single mother with 2 little kids, that I've been able to work from home. I have not had a job since my older daughter, her birthday is actually today. She's 10. So for the last 10 years, I have not had a job because I've been able to make money by blogging from my house. And so to me, that's just amazing and awesome. And this is something it's so important, and it's a message that I've been committed to spreading for a long time as far as what's possible in our industry. What I've been seeing, though, is that there's a lot of people in our industry who spread the message in a way that, in my opinion, is unethical, and it's not authentic, and there's no integrity. Like, I see a lot of people just copying and pasting stuff all over the internet trying to make money, where they're not actually providing any value for people or serving people in any way. It's all about just, trying to make money by copying somebody else's voice, thinking that person's a better copywriter, so if I use their words, I can make more money. And there's no actual heart behind their message at all. I see this all the time. I also see people, with these like slick looking systems and things where in order to get anybody to sign up for their thing, they have to make false income claims and say things that aren't true. And I don't agree with any of that. I feel like, there's too much at stake here. We have an industry that has the ability to change so many people's lives, and has changed so many people's lives for the better. But because of all of the spamming and the scheminess that's gone on, it's kind of given our industry a bad name. And for me, it's too important to maintain the integrity of our industry. I want to feel proud to raise my children in this industry, and for them to feel proud of what their mother does for a living. I don't want to be out there spamming links all over the place. I don't want to be out there copying somebody else's stuff. And so my message is really to help people really get in touch with their passion and their authenticity, and to be able to share that and their unique gifts, and to be able to share that with the world, to actually make a difference. Because we can do that, and we can do it using a blog in a way that actually provides something for people. It actually serves people, and it doesn't hurt anybody along the way. We're not misleading anybody. We're not pretending to be somebody we're not. We're tapping into our own unique voice and our own purpose and sharing that. And so back in November, I started another blog, and I started blogging about another passion of mine, which is CrossFit. And ever since I started doing that, I started blogging every day. And ever since I started doing that, all of this miraculous stuff started to happen. Not only have I been getting a lot of good results with my blog, I've been getting traffic and leads and sales from my blog. But in addition to that, I've had a lot of people contacting me. I've been invited to share the spotlight with industry leaders on stages, on webcasts. I'm constantly getting invited to be interviewed and do webcasts and stuff like that. But even more than that, I've had so many people contact me. I have people contacting me on a daily basis to the point where it's overwhelming. Like, I can't even answer all of the messages about questions about blogging, about how do I blog about my passion and get paid, or how do I know what niche I should choose to blog about. I get technical questions too about how I set up my blog to get results and widgets and images and all that stuff too. And there's just so much that people want to know. And so I decided that it's time to help people really get clear about how to do this. And so that's my goal right now. So I put together a training course to help people really get in touch with all of this stuff, to really find their true purpose and their true voice, and to be able to use a blog to make a really good living at the same time. So that's what I'm up to. And a week ago, I was at an event, and we shared this from stage. I shared this, in the pre-launch phase, to share people about what I'm up to, and the response was overwhelming. And what I got from that was that this is a message whose time has come. There's a lot of people who, for them, this is the missing piece. They've been trying to make money on the internet, and they don't feel authentic about the way that they're doing it. They don't feel really in alignment with what they're doing, and for them, this is the missing piece, and they want to understand how to really get in touch with their purpose, their passion, and how to use a blog to make a really good living blogging about their passions. And so if you are on my blog right now, you can see some of the comments that some of the people in the pre-launch, some of the messages that I've been getting from people. Basically, if you're not on my blog, there'll be a link below this video. You can head over to my blog at amystarrallen.com, and there'll be a post there called It's Time to Be Extraordinary, and you can read some of the messages that I've been getting. But what I found is that people have been thanking me for following my heart. People have been saying thank you for following your passion, because if it wasn't for that, this is the missing piece that I needed, and if you didn't follow your heart, I never would have gotten it. So, it's amazing when we follow our hearts, people actually thank us for that. Not to mention, it feels really good to be able to walk down a path of complete authenticity and know that you're in the right place and that you're on purpose and that you're making a difference for people. So that's what I'm experiencing right now, and I'm really, really, really excited about it. And I'm really excited to get this message out to the world on a really large scale. So there'll be a link, you can either head over to my blog, or if you're on my blog, there'll be a link if you want to get more information about the upcoming, about my course. I'm also going to be doing some events and speaking on stages and stuff like that. So there'll be a link where you can just leave me your email address if you want to be notified about any of this stuff. I would love to have you on this journey with me. I'm really, really excited about this journey and to get this message out on a large scale, because I really do feel that the world deserves to know you and to see your gifts, and for you to be in touch with your passions and to be able to share that with the world in a way that makes a difference for people, instead of trying to be like somebody else or copying and pasting somebody else's stuff. So I'd love to have you on the journey with me if that's of interest to you. And if it is, you can, leave your email address. In any case, I would love to hear your comments about all of this. So leave those at the bottom of the page, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a great day. Bye.